We are a dysfunctional family. We are not a well-oiled team, and we would have to become a well-coordinated, well-funded, well-operated team for leaders to emerge, leaders of responsibility, people who could manage the flow in and the flow out of both money and resources, and make sure, as science does, science has an organization or organizations set up that allow the funding of researchers, and they control the flow of information in and out. They still get stung with hoaxes occasionally, but nonetheless, for the most part, they have a system in place that allows for this policing. We simply cannot do that. You have isolated people who aren't in contact very much, who are very suspicious of everyone else's motives because they all recognize how huge the pot of gold is for whoever is the first person to come in with this. So because the stakes are so incredibly high for the world of hominoid research, so incredibly high, it's very cutthroat. Now, science, it's hard to think of a more cutthroat industry than science. The first with the cancer cure, the first with whatever. There's intense competition there too, and also, again, a degree of charlatanism within science, hoaxterism, all of the flaws that humans are heir to come to us the same way they do to science, but they come a little more intently to the world of hominoid research because, again, the stakes are just so high for the first person to get one, bring one in. And whether that's somebody who calculatedly did it or just hit one with their SUV or truck or whatever, but whoever that person is, whoever that is going to be a multi-millionaire. It's going to be like winning the lotto. And understanding that keeps people on edge and keeps people competitive and keeps people not trustworthy and keeps them not really wanting to share certain information. They will share, but certain key information they won't share. Certain locations, they're careful about who to bring in and who to let know what they know and all this. So I just don't think it's possible. I've talked to people about it. I've tried to create some kind of framework of an overview, something that everybody could kind of rally behind. It just doesn't work. Now, this is a very independent-minded field. This field attracts strongly independent-minded people. Science, on the other hand, attracts people who are willing to subsume their own egos largely to a larger overview, a larger ideology. But within their little bailiwick, that's where their ego explodes. And many people have stories about working with people like that, and they say, oh, guys, ego. We have the same issues here. It's human. It isn't just Bigfoot researcher versus scientist or anything else. It's just a part of humanity, and it's something that has to be battled by everyone at all levels. And I think it's going to keep us from ever welding into a unit before there's a capture or a killing. After there's a capture or a killing, it's going to be, for a time, every man for himself and every group for themselves. But over time, the more serious players, the more successful players will begin to accrue more and more of the power and influence in the field of bringing these in. I see a repeat of the panda, of the hunt for the panda of the middle to late 1800s and early 1900s, and all that went into that. I think you can look at that as a very good model for what's going to occur after the first hominoid is captured.